Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
More Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath today. This time around, Futurama. He's going to be playing our Steel Talons on the left side.
And on the right, as the yellow nod, this is Drive. So Tournament Highlands being the map. Again, we got a relatively close natural expansion, but not the closest that we've seen from some of these newer maps.
Double engineers, pretty safe caps.
Yep.
There seems to be something with Command & Conquer players where they just completely forget about oil derricks and tib spikes. Or maybe it's just bro code. Like, hey man, after the first 10 minutes, we're not allowed to kill each other's tech buildings. Okay, deal.
Yeah, a lot of times they just focused on, something else, but sometimes you will see on maps where the spikes are a little more pokery, someone will go, 4 rifleman squads to try and run across the map when they're GDI.
Yeah.
For now, Futurama, Drive, playing pretty normal, pretty standard. Nothing too wild coming out from these guys so far.
Oops. Look, 3 rifleman squads run through the Tiberium and take a bit of damage. Or is that only 2 squads?
I think it's just 2. Yeah, the 2. But yeah, running right through the field in the middle. Fast operations center, though, and it will be spotted. This may actually be for the power plant upgrade, because he just produced another harvester. Is he going for something sneaky? No, he is going flame tanks. So he's going rash and risky. The rifleman
now,
desperately trying to be killed to stop the scout, but he sees it.
If it was scouted, a good option could just be to go for the tip spikes instead. But there's already a Titan on the field with a mobile APC to repair this one. Oh, the Titan's going to crush the flame tank. Oh, he crushes a buggy. No, the buggy survived, I think.
Narrowly.
Oh, man. That went very badly.
Drive was not hoping for that outcome. He's got 2 bikes hanging around, and Steel Talons versus Nod doesn't normally go down that quick.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy to counter the flame tank rush. Normally you just sort of turtle in your base, protect your buildings, but instead the Titan went for the counterattack, and now he's getting some deadly damage versus these bikes.
It's the
it's 2 by the looks of it.
He got the easy kill on the flame tank, but it did end up costing him a little bit. Now we do have this Black Hand squad hanging out in this building over on the left side of the map. He's going to be slowly flaming down one of the tib spikes, and he gets an APC for his troubles as well. 5 bikes head through the middle of the map for Drive.
Futurama has the expansion at the top. It is exposed. No refineries or harvesters, however.
Yeah, he's going to be going for the... No, he swings out. I thought he was maybe going to be going for the natural expansion camp because there's 5 pit bulls in the main base for Futurama. Tip spike goes down.
Finally. Does he go for the second one? There is no building here to protect these Black Hand, but he's going to try it.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you pull anything down to the south to try and defend it, it might open up an opportunity. First refinery is down on the natural expansion for Futurama. He pulls all of his pit bulls up there to go for the defense. So it potentially could open up an opportunity for Drive, but Drive is guarding his own harvester at the blue tib in the south.
No blue tib mining at the north, but it will be a quicker expansion. We see a refinery as well for Drive.
Yeah, just dropping that down. And pit bulls are scouting out that blue tib in the north. They find no harvesters there because they're down in the south, and Drive has already sent it home full of blue Tiberium, so that is free for Drive. Bike's going to be catching these pit bulls, and they outnumber them, so they will be able to take them down. Even a Cabal squad getting a bit of damage, or a Militant squad getting a bit of damage on those pit bulls.
No attempt to retreat during that engagement, loses 4 of them for free. Tib spike has been saved and it is being repaired, so still could be a target for these bikes.
Yeah, they could swing in. One pit bull does announce the arrival of the remaining pit bulls as they swing in from the north here for Futurama. Drive on the defense. All of his bikes pulling back to this location. Drops the Hand of Nod as well for a potential man spam defense. And
defensive man spam.
so we do have
Just as powerful, but less angry.
Yeah, it's much more reserved, much more close to home. So both of these guys, I believe, have stolen one load of blue Tiberium. Drive going for a second load in the south as Futurama drives away with his first in the north. Buggies chasing down these pits as the bikes catch up for their first volley, but this is a lot of pit bulls.
Yeah, good damage with the pit bulls. It was good micro and positioning, but it didn't matter, getting heavily outnumbered.
And Futurama is just going to drive on forward. He'll clean up some of these buggies as the bikes outpace the pit bulls, but this is so many pit bulls he still has to deal with. Harvesters could be going down in record-breaking numbers.
This is when he needs the defensive man spam, but they have not on the wrong Tiberium field. 10 pit bulls or so. The laser turret's being deployed, but they can get out of dodge.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull his harvesters around. Really great harvester control so far, and by that I mean he just moved all of them once, and that was enough because the defense is here. The pit bulls are going to have to turn north, and we'll have to see if they get any kills here. There's more defense waiting for Drive, or Drive's defense waiting for Futurama.
The pit bulls are caught. It's infantry surrounding them. The Harvester got a bit focused, but now the pit bulls aren't being microed and are just firing their shots at a missile squad.
Yeah, they're doing nothing. There's a second squad of pit bulls in the north that are potentially looking for another opportunity. Futurama going the, I guess the green zero route of you just build 1 million pit bulls. And we'll have to see if it works out. He's transitioned into Tier 3. He's got the airfield up and running, and he's going for behemoths.
Very deadly counter to the bikes and the buggies.
Ooh,
Now, where
Tib
does
Catalyst
he send
Missile.
the behemoth?
Or Tib Chemical
that
Plant
one?
is out on the field. So,
okay.
Oh, Stealth Tank's actually here as well. MCV on the move towards the middle of the map.
Vapor Bomb annihilated so many pit bulls, but he also lost a refinery.
I completely missed the Vapor Bomb, but it looks
Here's
like
the
the pit
bottom
bulls
right.
get cleaned up. Tib Catalyst Missile on the left side eliminated one of the main base refineries. Doesn't seem like one of the more important ones for Futurama. And Futurama, he's got his MCV set up in the middle of the map.
Behemoths will be defending this position. I like the defensive behemoths. Going to be very hard to use them on the offense, especially against these stealth tanks. Currently, there is no stealth detection, so they are still quite vulnerable.
Yeah. Drive, he's gonna have some difficult options if these behemoths get into a good position. He currently is building a Redeemer, and he's got a flame tank heading out, but this artillery could cause problems for him.
Stealth tanks are skirmishing against these pit bulls.
Yeah, for now, hit and run, the name of the game, as all of the pit bulls do go down. The Orcas show up, and they get the kill on one stealth tank. The other two manage to run away, at least for now. The Orcas are going to turn around and head home. Flame tank going for the MCV as the Orcas turn around and get the kill on the flame tank. The MCV survives at half health.
A little bit of friendly fire there from the behemoths on that MCV. The Redeemer is spawning.
Immediate sell-off of the engineering facility, so he's not keeping that around. Looks like he's going flame and engineer inside of that Redeemer. And Drive, he's about halfway through his natural expansion, but his eco is going to be potentially troublesome over the next couple of minutes. Oh, he stealths his Redeemer.
Black Hand versus Tiberium Spike. Round 2 is successful this time.
Gets the kill. Up in the north, Orca is going to be hunting flame tanks. They miss one. They kill one, and they miss one as the stealth tanks drive it away. Harvester for Futurama gets turned away from the blue Tib in the north. He's going to be heading now down south. Takes a little bit of damage from these. Well, no, he dies to the stealth tanks, but the pit bulls responding to the stealth tanks find themselves a flame tank as well.
One stealth tank goes down. The second one's rather evasive here. Flame tank gets cleaned up by the Orcas.
And the stealth tank goes in.
fall.
Yeah.
So this is looking pretty good for Futurama. He has the middle. He has a pretty scary army of behemoths. He has... Oh. What?
I crashed.
Building.
Okay, I think we're back. I think I was crashing out a little bit there.
Depleted.
Alright. Well, we have a Space Command uplink rather than a refinery, but now we also have a refinery.
You know, the
What do you think we'll see?
The eco is important, but those one clicks, that's where the real skill in Kane's Wrath is.
Yeah. Where does what do you think we'll see out of this? What one clicks?
Oh, he's definitely gonna shockwave artillery the Redeemer when he eventually finds it. I've lost sight of the Redeemer. I don't know where it is. Vertigo Bomber's the response for Drive, a great choice to try and even the numbers and kill some of these behemoths. But Reclamator Hub is now down, so the Marv, the clock is ticking until the Marv shows up. Huge attack in the top left.
Whoa, big EMPs. Orcas have some good damage. Orca strike whiffs.
Yeah, and the actual
here come the
Orcas going
Hammerheads.
down. Hammerheads showing up for the kills, and the Watchtowers are going to be able to finish off the Raider buggies. The attack bikes not doing a whole lot in the meantime. They get some nice damage on the Harvesters, but no real kills for them. Oh, the Redeemer!
It looks like the buggy...
In the middle of the map, or in the middle of the main base, he's going for the kill on the airfield. He gets the tier 2 as well, and this is a stealthed Redeemer, which is how he snuck into the main base of Futurama.
Power plants are being focused now. The Behemoth's a little too far back to defend this. They're starting to fire now, but the damage has been done.
And for now, the Redeemer is just going to cut and run. He's just going to walk on out of there. The bikes go down. Vertigo's swinging in for a nothing. I don't think they actually dropped their bombs. Bikes and buggies retreat in the north.
It took me a really long time to find the Redeemer. Like, oh, the Redeemer! And I was furiously scrolling around the middle of the map and couldn't find it. Until you said, in the main base? How did you get there, you silly Redeemer? He's not done yet either. More power plants go down. He's found a refinery and several harvesters he could just crush.
Oh my gosh, Redeemer fires off the Rage Gen to distract those Hammerheads a little bit longer, but in the middle of that, a huge infantry army marches forward. So there could be a little bit of
the shockwave artillery. Behemoth's doing a lot of damage to this. Oh, but the Behemoths start firing at the bikes. Here come the buggies for the big EMPs.
A great
Sacrificial
move here.
buggies.
Oh my
the Redeemer
gosh,
just wants to disengage.
Drive low powering all of those Behemoths and saving the Redeemer. As you said, it gets the kill on a Harvester, and the retreating, or the man spam. Oh my gosh, it gets stealthed. All of those rockets go down.
But it is taking some damage now. We do have Veteran C1. Perhaps the Redeemer should have disengaged while he had the chance, but now he is dead to rights. He is stealth, but he can attack ground with the Behemoths. Pitbull's moving in for the stealth.
And there it is, the reveal. The Behemoths fire, and the Redeemer explodes. Oh my gosh.
Middle of the map, meanwhile. Now it's the other turn. Artillery comes down on the infantry. Man spam doing so much damage. AP ammo, Wolverines are being built. The infantry is crumbling here. This artillery is so devastating.
Orbital bombardment thinning the herd, but can he stop the onslaught as the bikes show up? The Marv is desperately low on HP, and as Drive continues to push forward, he may have nowhere left to retreat to. Bikes coming in for another swing. They kill the Wolverines as another one pops out, and the Grenadiers get eliminated.
Marv is being repaired. Behemoths now rejoining the fight. Redeemer hubs being focused down, as are these watchtowers.
The Tib Infusion being the thing that's saving the infantry in the middle of the map, and maybe he's bought enough time that with the Behemoths he can just eliminate this infantry without any further losses.
Drive must be out of money. He's got no more Tiberium.
Yeah.
His bases are fully depleted. There's a little bit of blue tib in the south, but meanwhile, Futurama, he has the middle field to snack on with his Marv. He's got a massive Behemoth army. This game's looking pretty over.
Yep. It felt like Drive had a shot to make it happen, and he narrowly did, but the Behemoths were so far away, but Drive just couldn't push through that front line. He couldn't actually get on top of the Marv. He couldn't actually kill it. And great mine drop. Almost kills the Marv with just the mine drop. A couple of Behemoths do end up going down, or at least one goes down, and the buggies are going to overwhelm the rocket squads, but the Marv gets pulled back for the repairs.
Drive isn't done cheesing, however. He had a proxy war factory in the bottom left. 2 flame tanks now gunned down or burnt down a refinery, and now they have their sights on the rest of the refineries, the power plants in the main base.
So it looks like Futurama is going to get pushed into the middle of the map, and he's mostly okay with that. That's where a lot of his infrastructure has been rebuilt. He doesn't have any tech, but he's got the Reclamator Hub, so he's got that at least going for him. And he's got some economy, which, as you pointed out, Drive doesn't have any real economy.
Both Tiberium spikes do still stand, however, so some income is trickling in. Vertigo is looking for more bombs. What do they target, however? Behemoth's probably the best choice. The Marv has too much health at this point.
Yeah, or go for harvesters. Yeah, he goes for a harvester
one.
as it's on the refinery. He gets the kill, but that's just one. There are still 3 or 4 more.
Okay, flame tanks still on the field. They did retreat through the north, so they're going to defend this Tiberium, I suppose, realizing Tiberium spike, realizing that there was no way they can go for the center with so many behemoths and that Marv.
What he could try, kind of go with me on this one, is if he stealths the flame tanks and then uses his main spam to distract. I don't think he can win the game that way, but he could kill like power plants, and then his man spam might be able to overwhelm the Marv.
There's still so many buggies. A lot of EMPs are going to be an option. The Marv finally repaired now can return to the Marvesting. It was forced off of the field for a while, so that did delay the income. More Vertigos looking for another bombing strike.
Oh my gosh, on the left, so they get the harvester, but on the left side of the map, a sneaky MCV was trying to go for an expand at Drive's or at Futurama's original main base. It gets cleaned up there by Futurama. He catches it out in the open, and he kills it with a rifleman squad and a Titan.
A good idea, though, because all Futurama has is the Marv and Behemoths.
Yeah, but like also the main field has almost regrown to its main size, so there actually is enough cash to make that worth it.
That one Titan, hero of the people. But now we have the line of Manspam. I love just looking at the minimap and seeing the crazy concave of infantry. Also another huge buggy army, 2 more flame tanks.
Yeah,
Titans are a nice choice to mix in.
A couple of bikes mixed in with those buggies to try and deal with the Titans. And with those Tibcore missiles, even though the bikes have paper-thin armor, they still do a bit of damage. A good bit of damage.
This MCV is looking very exposed. The Conyard at the south of the center. Yep, it's being focused down.
Oh my gosh, he may actually get the Conyard with all of these rocket troopers, which would cut down the watchtowers and stop them from being as much of a force in the next engagement. Mines get dropped on top of the Marv, narrowly misses it, and the MCV goes down.
Vertigos get a bomb on 2 Behemoths. One of them, however, still stands, perhaps because of the veterancy. Manspam continues. Here comes the bike buggy. Do they commit? Do they snipe harvesters? What's the game plan here?
The flame tanks tried to sneak in and get the Reclamator hub, but they were unable to. EMPs locking down everything in the middle of the map. Behemoths still stand, but the defenses for them are starting to fall. Hologram army going to be absorbing some of these damage shots.
Decoy army, but the buggies have all been cleaned up. No more EMPs. Drive has been mining during this time, but the infantry is getting overwhelmed. The Marv has some good damage, looking for some crushes, but also several Behemoths have been destroyed. Their husks need to be cleaned, else they can be recaptured.
He does target them down. The Vertigos are coming in for another strike, but as you mentioned, the infantry has been worn down so much that they have almost no strength left. Whoa! No MCV, no Reclamator hub. This is all Futurama has.
Not even a barracks. He calls the GG.
He was just gonna
No way he could end the game with the Vertigos to snipe buildings.
Yeah. Well, with the Vertigos, but then also all he needs is a couple of EMP Raider buggies to be able to hold off that Marv from ever really advancing. Oh my gosh,
that was a sick game.
Drive pulled that out. I can't believe he did that.
I think it was a bit of a throw with the forward MCV. I don't know why it was so far down the south, but really well played to Drive. Kept going for those counterattacks, kept trying to chisel away at the Behemoths and the Harvesters while himself still mining from the center.
Yeah, and if you check out the resource graph, Futurama was not nearly ahead on resources as I thought. I thought there would have been a much bigger gap, but actually they were neck and neck for most of that game, and at the end, Drive actually catching up and in the end surpassing him. So Futurama with less of an advantage than I initially thought.
Yeah, don't discount those spikes.
What a game, though. I think we might have time for one more.
Sure. Well, that was exciting. That was some fantastic Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. So thank you for watching.